Taking a little bit just to get all booted up, but I think we're live. Where are we? Is that there? Yep, we are there. Hello! Hey, Technic! Let's just get my paint out, but yeah, still got a fair bit of the trim to go on this, but I reckon we can make some solid time on this, because a lot of this is larger trim. It's going to be less fiddly. And I did a tiny bit of work on it just in my spare time between streams with these panels over here. Yeah, so all that's really left for the trim now is going to be the waist, the legs, the body, and one arm. Working holiday tomorrow to we'll get to make bank. Nice. Where do we want to start off here? I reckon. Let's do the waist. I feel like this one will be easy enough. I'll just clear out some space. Hey, let's move the no, let's move all the extra ones off to the side. Well, these can probably stay up there. Thinking about selling one of your armies, got a few too many. I surely, if you've painted it, surely you can't sell those though, right? I could never sell minis that I've painted. Hey, Medic, hey, Jesus. Let's put these bits over here. Okay, that should be enough space to work with. On your way to paint 30 orcs and 30 Gretchen. That'll be fun. I do not envy you. Like, at least orcs are probably not too hard to get a solid result with. If you slap chop them, I imagine the skin would probably end up looking quite good. Yeah, I can't help but I keep thinking about how once I get all of this trim painted, I'm then going to have the incredibly painful job of coming back and having to do the inside lip of each of these panels of trim where it's especially visible. Because especially with the size of this model, it's going to be so noticeable whenever there's like whenever the inside edge of the trim isn't painted. Perfect might start painting soon, which means you'll have to teach Perfect how to paint. Well, I mean, what do you mean have to? That's fun. I like that. That's really cool when you get more people around you who paint. That's like with one of my friends who doesn't play, but he was interested in trying it. He bought some orcs and he wanted me to teach him how to paint, and it was fun. Bonjour, want to see Chili Peppers, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, no, I am very excited to play with this. I think if all goes well, I might play with it this weekend, which will be really funny. Because this weekend is, I think we're planning for my friend who has Space Wolves to play his first few games. And so we're running, I think it's going to be either 1K or 1.5K games. We haven't fully settled on it. But if it's 1.5K games, I'm planning on running this alongside 2 other big nights. So it's just going to be 1,500 point game, 3 models on the table, and it's just going to be so goofy. Will probably be absolutely atrocious, but it'll be really funny. Also, because it seems like with the Porphyrion, so with this particular model, I feel like it would actually work really well with the Gate Warden Lance detachment. I really like the look of the Gate Warden Lance attachment. It's just really cool. It's like, basically, at the start of the game, you pick 2 objective markers, and they become your defensive line. So you then, like, 2 objective markers anywhere, and you draw a line between them. So there's a big, thick line on the board, and as long as your knights are on that line, or attacking things on that line, they get bonuses. And so I like the idea of just having the defensive line start somewhere in my home territory and just have the Porphyrion sit there, just looking over buildings, being this fucking massive wall of firepower, just blasting anything it can see, while my other big knights go and do shit elsewhere on the board. But if I'm trying to have fun and win, I could switch it for one big, and switch one big knight. Or how many homages could you trade it for? Well, to put it in perspective, Noah, so this guy here, the Arcastus Porphyrion, costs 770 points, I think. It's either 700 or 770 points. Armages are 150 each. So I could get 4 armages in exchange for this. 4 or 5 if it's 770. Hey, how's it hanging? Yeah, hey, Verbic. Not too bad, getting there. Got a job shadow on Friday at a flight school. Ah, interesting. 700 points is the cost of their Porphyrion, just looking at the Wikipedia article. Yeah, it's crazy. And also, the fact that it's got indirect fire on its rockets, it's also one of the most consistent indirect fire weapons I've ever seen. Imperial Knight's indirect fire is crazy. Most indirect fire weapons are like hitting on 5-ups, but this is it's like a 3 or a 4. So even if they're hiding from it, I can still just blast them anyway. So like even if he doesn't have direct line of sight on anyone, I can still just flush people out from behind their hiding spots while I walk my other 2 big knights up, which will be quite fun. What you said, thank you in advance. So many messages, I lost things. Okay, is anyone running Tau or Space Marines? So I'm the only Tau player in my group. The Space Marines will likely be Space Wolves and Iron Hands. if anyone's running them. So there will be Space Wolves, there might be Iron Hands. I don't know if that's confirmed for the weekend or not. But yeah, those are the Space Marine lists that are in our like in our group. Got bored and ran a game against yourself the other day. It was actually pretty insightful, your shortcomings, I see. That does actually seem like an interesting way to go about things, yeah. Doing well, stuck in Arizona with family, celebrated Turkey Day. Because you're driving tomorrow. I don't think anyone can outwhite your family in terms of Thanksgiving dinner. I see. Don't really, I don't think we have quite an equivalent white person holiday in Australia. Like, I guess we've got Australia Day, and people who, like, I guess that has actually become the quintessential white person holiday, because there's, like, a lot of, dispute about, the fact that Australia Day it's scheduled on the day that the settlers arrived in Australia, as opposed to the day when Australia declared independence. So there's like a bit of like, there's sort of a public, well, there's like an issue of whether it should be called this, like, well, because a lot of the indigenous people will like refer to it as Invasion Day, because it's the day that all of the colonists arrived. And it's like, why don't we just have Australia Day on the day we declared independence? But I think the reason we don't have it on the day we declared independence is because we declared independence on the 1st of January, and Australians don't like to waste holidays. So if we have it on New Year's Day, then we'll just be wasting a public holiday anyway. I think that's the practical reason. But yeah, because of that, I feel like Australia Day is very much a white person holiday. What type of food do you all typically eat during that? I don't know if we necessarily have like specific thing. I guess it's like, it's usually a barbecue because it's in January, so it's like summer. So you'll just like have family get together, and then it'll just be like sausages and bread. Various meats that you can throw on the barbecue. That's pretty much it. Because it's like, yeah, pretty much like Australian holidays, if it is not during winter, generally it involves having family come around and then just having a barbecue in the backyard. That's the white person way. Flashback of January and summer in the same sentence. Yo, we've got Surfing Santa here. You guys are missing out. Surfing Santa is an Australian icon. I'm glad that I started off the day working on a piece that has some larger trim, because we're back to the same situation we had last time, where my hands are a little shaky from the the coffee and medication in the morning. So I'm glad that I'm not trying to do anything super detail oriented at the moment. What about Skateboarder Jesus? I can't say I've seen that one. Be back in a bit, gonna go on a post-turkey bike ride. Righto, enjoy. Okay. And now while that layer dries, we'll do the outside edge of the trim. Yeah, my hands are so shaky. I reckon when the time comes for me to start doing free hands and stuff again, I'm gonna need to make the conscious decision not to have coffee that morning, because I feel like it just pushes me just over the line into having really shaky hands for for an hour or so. That probably won't help out. And I really wish I had a non-airbrush version of this paint. It would make my life so much easier. Because I experimented around a little bit off stream with mixing it with the retardant medium, because it sort of thickens it up, but it doesn't really help with the pigment density issue, which is the main problem. It's not that it's really thin, it's the fact that it's really thin and there's not a lot of pigment. So thickening it doesn't really help, it just makes it not cover either. Trimmed your beard way down, it feels so weird. Yeah, gonna rub in the fact that you can grow a beard. We're back here, are we? Yeah, I've got or my friends who do have more of a beard sort of thing. It is always quite amusing whenever they shave every other month or so, and it's just they just look like a completely different person. It's quite amusing. Tempted to get into sisters. I feel like they'd fit your playstyle well. Yeah, one of the people in my group has bought sisters, and she's in the process of building them now. And the sisters have some really cool play styles, also really cool mechanics on them. Like the whole thing where they have like a vehicle which can split the squad, split a squad in half in like whatever way you choose to do it. So you can distribute the models into smaller squads of your of like your own choosing. It's really neat. That's a lot of trim. Mic's quite quiet. Oh, okay, hang on. There, I've pulled the mic up a little bit. Is that better? I'm scared to push it too far, but I think that should oh, I'm worried that might be getting a bit close to peaking. There we are. Yeah, I'll sit there. I'll sit here for a bit. But oh hey Theodore. Immolator splitting squads and stripping covers is insane. Yeah, it's really cool. Also, just like the models all just look so awesome. I love the visual design. But yeah, like I'm not against like I feel like Sisters is one of those armies that I would be happy to side grade into just because you do have the option of running some of the units as Imperial agents as well. So it could be just like a neat option to build out an Imperial Knights list. You're a bit mad about the holiday boxes. Yeah. The holiday boxes were not all that impressive. They had absolutely atrocious value for most of them. And then the Tower one was just a worse version of last year's Tower one. Like, why even give us a Tower one? It should have been Eldar. Eldar haven't had a Christmas box since like 2019 or something. Yeah, it was quite upsetting. And then the Emperor's Children Christmas box had a lot of overlap with the Emperor's Children launch box, and the fucking Tyranids box had a lot of overlap with the Leviathan box. Is this Minecraft music? This is Minecraft music. And the amount they released was so pathetic. Yeah, they always understock everything. And also, just a little peeve of mine as well was the fact that there were like 7 or I think 8 Christmas boxes if you include Crux Terminatus. And I think it was like 4 of them were some kind of Space Marine. That's just a personal attack towards me. That's my own racism coming through. It is okay to be racist against Space Marines. We hate them. But yeah, because what was it? There was regular Space Marines, there was Chaos Space Marines, there was Emperor's Children, and yeah, then there was Crux Terminatus. There were 4 different Space Marine boxes for Christmas. Like, come on, man. And then the Xenos boxes we got were a essentially downscaled version of the Leviathan box. We got a rerun of last year's Tau box. We got the Votan one is really neat. I like the Votan one, but unfortunately, points cost per model is absolutely atrocious. And then we got a really cool Imperial Guard box, but again, points cost per model is atrocious. Space Marines make the money though. They do. Yep. They do. Believe it or not, when all you do is sell people Space Marines, you create customers who will buy only Space Marines. Gonna get some Star Wars Legion for Christmas. I don't think I've seen any of the Star Wars Legion. I'm assuming Star Wars Legion is their tabletop war game. Is it like is it prequel era, or is it sort of set in the during the original trilogy? So is it like Republic versus Empire, or is it like I forget what it's called, but like clones versus droids? I forgot the names of the factions. I'm not a big Star Wars guy. Tyranid box only had 2 models that were in Leviathan. That's only because of the sprues, but you're mad about the amount. Also don't have the Leviathan box. Yeah, I think, well, the reason that I don't like the Tyranid box is, so I like big models, but the issue is I have the Leviathan box, and the Neuro Tyrant is not something that you really want to have duplicates of. It's just not that useful. Like, you want to have 1 Neuro Tyrant in a squad of Zoanthropes, and you're chilling. There's no real, like, you don't really get much for running more. Because the whole point is just that you can have the Neuroloids to spread the Shadow of the Warp. Oh, sorry, not Shadow of the Warp. Oh, no, yeah, Shadow of the Warp, that is what it is. So there's no, like, it's really just not worth running multiple Neuro Tyrants. But at least with the Tyranid box, unlike almost all of the other boxes, it was good point value for what you're buying. It's all errors. You can mix and mash. It'll be great in a year or 2. Okay, yeah. That's cool, because I think, like, my favorite aesthetic part, or like my favorite I guess part of the Star Wars setting is the Separatists versus the clones. What were the clones? What do they refer to that faction as with the clones? It's not the Republic, it's like the pre-Republic, or is it the Republic? Is it the Republic versus the Separatists? I think it is, because then it's the Empire versus the... Are they just called the Rebels? Is that all they're called? Love the CIS. Yeah, no, the CIS are so cool. There was like, playing original Star Wars Battlefront and original Star Wars Battlefront 2. That is like core childhood memories. Grand Army of the Republic. Okay, so it was the Republic versus Separatists. Okay. But yeah, like PlayStation 2 Star Wars games were the shit. They were actually just top tier. Lego Star Wars was peak. Not gonna lie, I never really played any of the Lego games. They're just like, I never really was a Lego kid, and so I never played the Lego games either. I can appreciate Yoda though. We can appreciate the death noise. Lego Star Wars 3 had an RTS. Lego games are like, they're a very strange thing to behold from the outside. Like, from an outside perspective, it's just like, I have no idea what is going on in this thing. It's kind of like, it's like, this is a, this is a game. It's like game with like, game being like an umbrella term. It's like, there are things here. I don't really know what goes on, but there are things going on here. can buy 100 US dollar box for an army, which is about 1,000 equivalent to 40k. That is very nice. Honestly, unsurprising that Games Workshop, yeah, unsurprising that Games Workshop heavily overcharge for their products. Who would have thought it? Who could have thought that when you're given a 50% discount on all plastic for working at Games Workshop, who would have thought that when they can do that, it means that they're probably hyperinflating their prices for profit? Because I can be almost certain that even when you're an employee at Games Workshop and you're buying plastic at that 50% discount, they are still making profit off you. They are not selling that to you at a loss. It's 30 battle droid, or 30 B1 battle droids, 9 B2s, 2 droidicas, and General Grievous for $100. Meanwhile, GW, General Grievous for $160. Nah, they wouldn't be that mean. It'd be like $130 or $140. If I were to be isekai'd into Warhammer Fantasy Skaven Land, which faction would I want to be? Okay, hang on. As in, am I going to a place that has Skaven? Am I a Skaven? Both of these seem like really bad options. I feel like Warhammer Fantasy is the Warhammer place you want to get sent to, but then it's like the second Skaven are near you, it's already gone to shit. You are not having a good time anymore. As in, you can be reborn into a dwarf or a goblin. Okay, I'm going dwarf because at least I have the physical strength to fight off multiple Skaven. Yeah, you go dwarf in that situation. I don't know which dwarf I would want to be. Like which faction of dwarves I'd want to go to, but like if you're going to Warhammer Fantasy and you have to deal with Skaven, you're going dwarf because at least you'll be able to fight back. But fuck, man, like they're the worst. Hadron Overlord, fuck you, Sky Cities. What is that Age of Sigmar? I'm not familiar with any of the Age of Sigmar factions. I only really know like old world fantasy because of Warhammer 3, because of Total War. So I guess if I had to be a dwarf in Old World, I would want to go. I'd want to be part of True That Same Nature. Oh, what's his name? Who's the Slayer? Who's the Slayer King in? Oh, sorry, not the Slayer King, but the Oh fuck! I forgot his name. In Total War Warhammer 3, he's the Horde army dwarf that starts in the north, and he's got like an airship, and he's like going around. He's like the artillery guy. Malachi McKyson. I'd want to be part of his mob, because then I wouldn't have to deal with Skaven that much. And also because then I get to hang out on a sick airship. What isekai do you want? Cis Factory World, Undercity of Coruscant, Tower World is human, Star Wars Empire is an alien, Imperial Agri World, Warhammer, Orc and Armageddon. We go Tower World as a human. It's like, that is the easiest I'll take this of all time. Like, you're a second-class citizen, but you're still treated well. Hopefully. Unless you're in the, is it the fourth sphere? The fourth sphere, blah, 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 fourth sphere we don't talk about. But I mean, you're more likely than not going to be there. Like, you're more likely than not going to be somewhere that isn't that bad. You also stumble into Jigmo Toebiter, who hates dwarves, but Jigmo Toebiter has a catapult and launches himself at you. And Glart Smashrip is there, a real Skaven. I see, yeah? That's crazy. I don't remember these characters. I'm not as into the lore as you, clearly. C2 gets into this fourth sphere, and Defiance doesn't change. What's the number 2? Like, number 2 is just gonna be Orc. Yeah, like Technic said, Orc and Armageddon, because it doesn't matter where you are as an Orc. Like I guess there are some edge cases as an Orc where you probably wouldn't want to be in a place, but like, you're just gonna have a great time. There's a whole lot of fighting to do. Just get crumpin'. You've sent me Glart? Okay, I've got I have a direct message. You weren't lying. Glart Smashrip is an actual character. That is hideous. What the fuck is that? You really think the airship would be safe with him being catapulted at me? I don't think so. Although, actually, no, there is a very, very good chance that he gets catapulted and just misses and dies. Because the Skaven suck at literally everything. They are just the worst. What's number 3 / the rest of the list? I'm not like as, well, I'm not really big enough into Star Wars to know the implications of the Cis Factory World and the Coruscant Undercity. So I can't really say for them. I've never been like a huge Star Wars guy. It's been like, I played the PlayStation 2 games, but that was about it. I've like seen the movies and I've played the PlayStation 2 games, but not really much beyond that. He has experts with him. It will be a direct hit slash landing. I see. It's basically like AdMech. Well, I imagine in that case, at the bottom of the list would probably be the Imperial Agri World, and then the other factory options and like Undercity options would be just above that. Like, ideal situation is human in the Tower World, Orc in Armageddon, and then at the other end of the scale we've got Imperial Agri World, and then like Cis Factory World and Undercity and stuff. Just tried the new Overwatch hero and she feels weird. I forget that Overwatch still like make stuff. I guess Blizzard don't really have anything else. They got Overwatch and they've got WoW. They've like killed everything else. Like, what does Blizzard even do now? Like, they can't steal breast milk from the fridge anymore. They're like Diablo Immortal. Actually, what even happened to Diablo Immortal? Is that still running? Are they still milking people for like for money there? I imagine that's probably the only way that they're still getting money is through Diablo Immortal, right? Or I guess, and the return of loot boxes in Overwatch. Hearthstone. Oh, true, actually. Yeah. Wow, it is actually all just predatory monetization practices at Blizzard now, isn't it? Hearthstone, Diablo Immortal, Overwatch brings back loot boxes. What, like, WoW subscription? Like, what, they just don't make products anymore. They just farm people. StarCraft 2 is still around, but you can't imagine it's generating much in sales comparatively. Well, I mean, that's because all that StarCraft 2... Like, because StarCraft 2 base game is free now as well. Like, the only way that they make money is from people buying Heart of the Void, Heart of the Swarm, whatever the Protoss one is called, and then skins for units. Like, they don't actually... Like, they don't support it for anything else. Sucks, such good games killed by corporate greed. Yeah. Like crazy. Thoughts on the Eldar you posted the other day? My thought is I would never want to force myself to do that to an army. My condolences, Technic. Have fun. I'm cheering you on. That looks like a nightmare. When you posted the photo of him with the, with the fucking, the masking tape, I immediately knew you were not having fun. Overwatch player counts are higher than Rivals, but who knows? Well, I mean, I genuinely believe that at least Overwatch 1, I haven't really played relaunch Overwatch, so I can't say, but at least old Overwatch, I genuinely think was just a far and away a way better game than Marvel Rivals. I did not enjoy playing Marvel Rivals at all. Just zero gameplay feel. Just doesn't feel like I'm playing a game. I did not enjoy it. So in terms of like gameplay satisfaction, I used to enjoy Overwatch way more. So I wouldn't be surprised if Overwatch was performing better than Rivals. I feel like the main thing that Rivals has going for it is established characters, so it's easier for people to get into, and they are more open to doing Guna content. So people are going to get into it because they see Squirrel Girl, or I don't know who else, Cloak and Dagger. And so they're like, oh yeah, get me in there. Legacy of the Void and co-op mode that has half a dozen characters you need to buy. Right, yeah, I forgot that you had to buy the co-op characters. And I really liked, oh, man. StarCraft 2 is actually so good. I used to play so much of it. One of my friends is super hardcore, like big on competitive games, and so he went hard on the StarCraft grind for a while. And then we used to play the co-op together quite a bit. Like, StarCraft actually had... StarCraft was just an awesome game. Really cool. I miss RTSs. RTSs used to be... I guess this is just my nostalgia kicking in, but, like, my childhood games were Age of Empires and Age of Mythology, and then Dawn of War 1 and Dawn of War 2. And it's like... It's just sad that RTS as a genre has just... largely disappeared because MOBAs are much more accessible than RTSs, because they're like MOBA is just a much more condensed variant of RTS, where it grabs a lot of the more popular RTS like things of just like hero units, which were very popular, and it's just like they sort of just drew all of the I guess all of the capital away from RTS as a broader genre. It's like, I like MOBAs. I'm a League player. I suffer. But I don't know. It's just like base building RTSs are near and dear to my heart, but they're not really. They're not a thing anymore. New Overwatch character is a chick with a sword who spins, so now the rival fans are just screaming it's just a magic copy-paste. Do the Marvel Rivals players like to ignore the fact that half of their support roster has Zenyatta ult? Is that something that they are conscious of? Like, half of the healers have Zenyatta ult. Love Ultron. It's not about the fact Venom is just Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is way cooler. The way Wrecking Ball controls is... This is like original Overwatch, I feel like it was like the last flare of Blizzard being cool before the ultimate downfall. That was like the dying flickers of cool Blizzard stuff. There was like, they had like, oh, man, yeah, like Blizzard has, they came so far and just like, and then fell so hard. It was like, Blizzard was like at the forefront of cool game design, like fun gameplay oriented things. Just like all of original Overwatch, like all the characters had their own really neat like when you were playing different characters, they felt like you were playing a different character. It was like, it wasn't just I have different abilities. It was like, oh, it was so good. Yeah. Tragic. It was so good. Overwatch launch was so hype. There was like, every time I talk about like Overwatch vs Marvel Rivals, the one thing I always go back to is how different it feels when you're hitting people as Reinhardt versus when you're hitting anybody in Marvel Rivals as a melee character. Like, it's just night and day. There's like, I don't know how you can compare these things and say that they are like in the same space. Like when you are beating someone up as Reinhardt, or so I guess more so when you're getting beaten up by Reinhardt versus when you were getting beaten up by Thor, such a different experience. Reinhardt, you were getting like thrown all over the place. Like you're trying to get through a doorway and he's sweeping you side to side. You can't fucking move because this like 10-foot tall dude is smacking you with a truck. Versus Marvel Rivals, Thor is hitting you. You're running away in a straight line. He's running in a straight line at the same speed as you, just hitting you on the back of the head, just your health bar's going down. Cinematics were legendary. Yeah, I mean, Overwatch, like, Blizzard's always been, like, the cinematics company. That's, like, always been their thing, is they have had really cool cinematics. Like, oh, man. Legacy of the Void in particular. Holy shit. StarCraft cinematics were insane. Oh, fuck. I missed StarCraft. StarCraft was so good. Why did it have to be... How did it all go so wrong? Not here to play corporations, but corporations are cool. Blizzard's been doing a pretty good job recently. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that at least for like people who are playing Overwatch at the moment, they're having a good time. Yeah, I don't really have any intention of playing any Blizzard stuff anytime soon, unless there's like a big comeback and they do something which I see and I go, okay, yeah, I want to play that. But yeah, like, as long as they are doing things that players enjoy, that's always the start. Because that's realistically, like, that's how you salvage shit, is you just need to, like, put the players first. That was like with League of Legends, with Riot. In the past year or so, they did some really fucked, like, anti-player things. Like, they tried to remove a whole lot of the free skins and, like free cosmetic content, and then they got huge backlash from the community, and then they ended up walking it all back. And then since then they've been very sort of open with the community about all the stuff they're doing, and they've been putting a lot of fun game mode content and that sort of thing towards the forefront, just like being very just clear and open with the community about what they're working on, which is, it's a nice change. It's what you want to see. And all the $500 skins, or more with the faker one. Yeah, okay. They're not perfect. There are still things that we hate, like the gacha skins. I hate that shit. It has no place in League of Legends. They've explained why they did it, which is like, they need to get funding somehow, and they understand that there are whales, and so they're like, hey, here's a thing for whales. I don't like it. It's gross. But yeah, it is what it is there. Best faction to be isekai into, and their worst situation, for example, our Fourth Circle Human, or Rebellion Soldier during an Imperial Massacre. Honestly, I would still go Tau Fourth Sphere, because, like, the humans in the Tau Fourth Sphere are not being, like, killed en masse. They might be in certain places. They might get killed, but it's not guaranteed. It's not like you're in the middle of getting slaughtered. It's more like you are heavily prejudiced against, and a bunch of aliens hate you, but also a bunch of aliens are chill with you in the fourth sphere. It's just the Tau themselves that are very anti-human, and they're also very anti all other Xenos. So at least if you're a Tau, if you're a human in the Tau fourth sphere, like, you've still got a bunch of, like, Kroot and shit, and they're all, like, chill with you. You just don't want to piss off the, you just don't want to stand out. Like, it's a bad situation, but you're not, like, you're not guaranteed to have someone coming for you. Glad they finally brought back the Christmas map. Yeah, the League Christmas map is it's a nice thing to see after so many years. Like, it's... Hello, fly. Just gonna sit there? Hang on. Can we... Hello, little dude. Now, he's pretty chill. Oh, see ya. I forgot what I was talking about. Paint him? I'm not gonna paint him. No, yeah, no, it's just like the like, League having a Christmas map is a really minor thing that they had avoided doing for years just because it wouldn't make it, it's like, it doesn't generate any profit. It's not something they're selling, it's purely just a cosmetic thing they're doing for fun. And it was just like, it sucks that for so long they just didn't do it because that it's not something that would actively make money, but it's nice to see them do these things again. Friend acquired, friend lost. It's okay, he's on a journey. Well, then fuck Tau, what faction would you pick other than them? Wait, so Theodore, do you want me to pick a shit faction in 40k that I would want to go to, or just a 40k faction that I would want to go to that isn't Tau? Because, like, non-Tau faction that I would want to go to, if I'm trying to avoid a shit situation, would be... I feel like living on an Imperial Night World, even if you're not a knight, just living on a Night World, would be pretty decent, because it's just gonna be, like... It's gonna be medieval peasantry subsistence living. I'm gonna be a farmer living on the lands, and then I might get invaded by bugs and then get to watch a Pacific Rim fight before I get eaten. Like, I feel like that'd be pretty awesome. Otherwise, I feel like surely Leagues of Votan would be pretty chill to live. Like, to be in the leagues would probably be pretty awesome. I don't think many people tend to fuck with the Votan because they're kind of isolated. So you just get to go around just mining rocks. And worst situation, no exception. If it's a night faction, it's chaos. Well, so that meaning it's a night world, and then the knights are turning traitor. Yeah, that'd be pretty fucked as well. That the thing is, okay. Worst situation. Oh, actually, no. I was about to throw out there. I'd just be an orc. But then I realized that the worst situation for an orc would be there's no fighting. and then I'd just be getting isekai'd into being a depressed green guy, and I don't think I want to do that. That would actually just be, that would be the worst. That would genuinely be so bad. Remember 40k or Star Wars? Well, I mean, again, like, Theodore, I don't really know shit about Star Wars. Like, I would say, like, Star Wars, if you're going worst situation in Star Wars versus worst situation in 40k, worst situation in Star Wars is probably far and away much preferable. Because 40k is deliberately written to be fucked up. Like, 40k writing is a pissing contest of how bad of a situation can I make this sound like. It's like, oh, yeah, this world is it's really bad. There's corrupt nobles, and they steal all the money from the peasantry, and also it's polluted, and also there's actually a demon that lives on the world that makes it so that every day when you're trying to go to work, you're guaranteed to scrape your toe on the bitumen. And it's like, fuck. You could have just stopped at the pollution. It was already pretty bad. Like, fuck, man. I don't need that. Goodbye, chicken. What faction do you think is best for Star Wars? My favorite faction from Star Wars is going to be the Separatists. If you're talking about best faction to live as a part of, I don't know. But yeah, my favorite Star Wars faction is the Separatists. Man, I really thought I would have a better pace going than this. I just checked the timer and we've been going for an hour, and I haven't even finished our first section that I'd picked up for today. This is the first piece of the day. Getting there, though. Getting there. Love the kindest general ever. He's the best friend with all the Jedi. Yeah, he even has gifts from them, doesn't he? Like, they all give him presents. And he makes sure to carry them around everywhere he goes. What happens when you have to throw like 3 coats of metallics on it? Thankfully, I only have to do 2 coats, I think, to get most of the coverage. But yeah, I am definitely regretting picking this as the color that I wanted to use. But also at the same time, I don't have another suitable metallic for the scheme. Like, this is just the best color that I have for the scheme that we're going for. It's just unfortunate that it's so thin. You're a firm believer in throwing down a base coat for metallics? Yeah, that probably would have been a better idea. The thing is, like, I did, well, because I airbrushed a base of lead belcher over the whole thing, because all of the chassis is going to be silver, silver metallic. So, example, like, all of the chassis is base coated silver. It's just the issue is that the trim is a different color of metallic from the chassis. So at the end of the day, I'm still going to encounter this issue. Okay, but I think that's all of the faces for that one done. Pretty happy with the coverage there. You meant like browns for gold and bronze grays for silver? Right. Yeah, no, that would make it easier. Because then you don't really notice when the base coat is peeking through, yeah. You wanted to literally blow up any Republic world that supplied them with food, and don't mean Death Star, I mean Planet Wipe. Look, it is what it is. Look, sometimes you just gotta do it. Three words that should never go together. What three am I? Don't worry about it, Theodore. You don't need to worry about it. Potato, apple, and pizza, self-explanatory. Exactly. I think you're about to say something really fucked up. Like, no, I think I know what you were getting at. You were alluding to some some past practices that were fucked up. Kind of funny. I don't even acknowledge the first thing, or acknowledge when you arrive. The first thing he says, just ignore him. I thought I responded when you joined it first. I thought when you came in and said hello, all you beautiful legends. I thought I responded there. Maybe I didn't. Anyone here ever had sea urchin? I have not. I was not aware that that was an edible thing. Fucking atrocious, okay. I was waiting for you. I thought you were going to type, it's fucking delicious, but then you just reaffirmed my suspicions that it doesn't seem all that appetizing. Do you think I should deep dive into Star Wars lore, or you recommend Grievous lore? I don't know. I've never really been all that interested in it. I feel like for my sci-fi settings, like Warhammer and Halo are enough for me. I read like Halo peripheral lore is really cool. I don't really yeah, I'm not like in need of more things to sort of read up on. You and Trebek had to prepare them at work once. Ugh. Do you know the term greebling came from Star Wars? I've never heard the term greebling before, so I'll believe you. It means adding random details that mean nothing to the design of a ship or vehicle to make it look large. What split lip? Also what? You see, what is there's a fine words of wisdom from the Sangheili. That is that's a generations that's a saying passed down through the generations from the elites. They convey great truth and power, and help rally the spirits of all who hear it. And split lip is a slur. we we don't use that we don't use that term here. You know what split lip? That's a slur for elites. I love slurs. We don't love slurs. We do not love slurs. Like clanker? Okay, clanker that's permissible. We live in a society, we live in an age where it is okay to call things clankers. Clanker is an okay slur. In a fight back against the machine. We hate AI. We hate AI. Unless it's being used for reasonable things like medical genome sequencing. That's okay. Hate your job for a single reason. Sometimes you get paid weekly, sometimes bi-weekly, so you never know how to budget. That does seem like a really bad practice. I would be really nervous if my if my payments were not coming through at regular intervals. It'd make me feel like there's a reason for the delays in payment, and they may not actually have the money when they're doing payments, so they have to like push it back. I'd be scared for job security. Working for the government is fun. It's for the government! Oh my. Oh, what is happening over there, guys? What is happening over there? I'm so sorry. That is such a long conversation. Yeah. Don't you worry. I hear more about your government than I hear about my government. It's it's pretty wild. don't talk about such things here because it's not your channel. Yeah, I generally try to avoid these things as well, just because I know that there is a division of opinions, and it's not just that there's like, it's not just that there are disagreements. It's that where there are disagreements, the disagreements are so just extreme that it's like it's sort of a volatile thing to talk about. It's crazy. I feel like talking about politics in like Australia and in Europe is like usually pretty chill, because we're like, you can like talk to someone and have political disagreements with them and argue about it, and then sort of like at the end reset and be like, okay, we're chill. Okay, we're chill. But I feel like I often hear like where it's like over in the US, it's people will avoid talking about politics with their family just because it's that fucked. Like it's just that the lines of disagreement are so solid, and it's like, fuck man, if you have some political disagreements with family, it can really make things rough. That's like what I've heard. It was like when I was on exchange in Japan, had some American people in my dorm who were talking about it, and they're like, yo, it's crazy. Like, as they're talking to some of the French people in the dorm, and they were like, yeah, it's crazy how you guys are just so, like, open to talking about politics like this. I could not do this at home. Family gets violent, which sucks because it's the largest family member, so it's up to you to calm everyone down. That's crazy. Besides the little children, you're the youngest. Yeah, I can imagine that'd be a really fucked situation as well, where it's like, you are the youngest, I guess, well, you're like the youngest adult in the room, and you're having to be the most mature person to like, tell everyone to chill the fuck out. I feel like that'd be really upsetting. Francois deep channel lore? Yeah, that's part of the deep lore. Gonna have to get sleep for the big day tomorrow. Righto. What is the big day tomorrow? Is this a thing for you, or is this an American thing in general? Like Frank. Francois was around the time that you named the bug Frank, I think. That was around the same time. But he's a lot deeper. Thanksgiving's tomorrow? Right, okay, I see. They not have Thanksgiving in Australia? No, because Thanksgiving is specifically an American holiday. I think it had, was it like to do with peace between the Native Americans and the settlers or something like that? had something to do with some kind of treaty or treating between the between them. Sort of, it upsets me how much I know about American politics and American culture, just because it's like it just dominates all of the media sphere. Is it sort of like distracts so much from local things? Like that's one of the things is it's really hard to get political will to do things in Australia because no one knows what the fuck is going on in Australia, because the like all of Australian media is just owned by Rupert Murdoch and similarly aligned people, and so they just ignore talking about anything that's happening. Like they just avoid talking about anything that's happening in politics. It's a day to celebrate natives being kind to immigrants, ironically enough. Right, right. Thanksgiving's about whatever you want it to be about at this point. Yeah. But like the original thing was, yeah, like something about the Native Americans being chill. I'm trying to remember where I even learned it from. I think it might have been Milo Rossi video. I think he might have mentioned that in passing. I don't know. Is it Milo? Is that his name, Mini Minuteman? I think his name's Milo Rossi. Pilgrims are starving. The local tribal people brought them food to help them out. That's the official story. Right. Okay, I think that's finally all the trim for that section done. An hour and a half for this. I am so slow. Holy shit. We're gonna be here forever, gamers. It looks good, though. Yeah, I think it'll come together nicely when it comes together. But it's just gonna take a while. But yeah, I think it'll look really nice. Because we've known each other for an entire year now. It is crazy, actually. Yeah, I was thinking about this. Like, I've been streaming painting for a lot longer than I thought I had been. Oh. Need a stretch. Okay. Back into it. I nearly just drank my paint water. That wouldn't have been good. Also in the boat of 1 year. Yeah, it is, it's been a long time. I don't know, like, I feel like I'm getting old. The time goes by too fast. I'm losing my days. Seems like just yesterday when I was laughing when I heard about Cyber Monday. I'm not gonna lie, Gavin. I have completely forgotten what Cyber Monday is. Is this like another version of, was this like a Monday version of Black Friday where it's just they attach a word to a day to sell shit? Is that what that was? Up Nerd Rebellion? How you going, mate? It's exactly that. Yeah, that's quite strange. I like. Yeah. We love our fake, um, like holiday slash. We love how our annual buy our shit days that people have. That's how I interpreted it. So if that's how I interpreted it, what is it meant to be? What's the official line? Didn't give a response in the order other than I'm sorry. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, no, they do look like they're going to be very, very cool. I like the really vibrant colors, like the split between the two really vibrant colors. It seems like a nightmare to paint though. I feel like if I were doing that sort of color scheme, I would want to have some kind of smaller detailing to break up the big blocks, but army painting that would be fucked. Plan is to paint the vehicles like the Harlequins. Yeah, I'm half excited for and half dreading working on my Harlequins because I got the combat patrol, and I'm considering building out to having a more expansive Harlequins list. To be very cool to see if in 11th they give the Harlequins some more love. But yeah, the unfortunate thing is that painting Harlequins seems like an absolute pain. I was hoping and praying when I was like opening the Harlequin box that that they would have the checkers sculpted into the plastic so that you wouldn't have to manually paint them out, but alas, they did not do that for us. So I'm very I'm I'm sort of delaying the inevitable, seeing what else I can build and paint before I eventually have to face the music and paint tiny checkers on 6 members of a Harlequin troop. Cyber Monday is just a way to associate it with what people already know, which is Black Friday. Basic business, find ways to increase your sales and possibly take sales away from your competition. Yeah, you see, Black Friday has like, it has made it like it is a thing in Australia now as well. You've managed to infect the Australian ecosystem with it, but we don't have Cyber Monday or any shit like that. Instead, it's just Black Friday sales just go for like a month. And so for that month, all of the advertising is just really annoying. It's just like constantly all the ads are screaming the words Black Friday at you. And it's like, you'll go like two Fridays are down and they're still advertising Black Friday. And it's like, when the fuck will it end? Please, please. Which Friday is Black Friday? And it's just like a month. It's like a month that they've blocked out on the on the calendar, and they're like, "This is now when we entice people." What's the paint theme for the Furion? Missed last stream. Yeah. So it's going to be Sons of Horus / Lunar Wolves will be our like secondary color scheme that we're going to do on some panels. So, one sec. This is pretty much where we're at the moment, Rebellion. So we've done the trim for all these parts, and then we've just got all the other, like, we're just working on the rest of the trim now. So yeah, primary scheme is Sons of Horus, and then our secondary panels we'll want to be doing as Lunar Wolves stuff. Black Friday was originally the Friday after Thanksgiving, and now it's like the start of October, you swear? See what people being annoying, considering Black Friday was a time coined by people opposed to other people going shopping on Thanksgiving night. Is that what it comes from? I had never known where it had originally come from. I was like, what is black about Black Friday? I don't understand. I still don't really know what is black about Black Friday, but at least I now know why it is in the time of year it is. Imagine the trim on a Chaos Porphyrion. I don't know what I would do to make a, to convert a Porphyrion to Chaos. Like, in terms of the model. I don't have the ambition to do sweeping conversions on models. Slowly getting through your 30k stuff, building a Spartan 2 Fell Blades Mark II Assault 90% of the Sat 9 box. I really wish more of the 30k stuff was compatible with 40k. Like, there are so many awesome Mechanicum models which just are not usable for AdMech, which is like, what the hell? Like, I would actually be so keen to, like, build and play AdMech if half those Mechanicum models were usable. But they're just not. It's quite sad. Petting Eldar is the easy way you go about it. It's easy, it's the way you go about it that makes you suffer. For the first time ever, youngest person in the chat feels odd. Yeah, painting Eldar is... I'm kind of avoiding painting Eldar because... just because I've got a lot of them. And it's like one of the things... I hate army painting. Army painting scares me. I'm traumatized by my Space Marines because I have standards that... I have like a minimum level that I want to meet. And so I can't bring myself to like deliberately ignore certain details once I've noticed them. And it's like... ugh. Yeah, it's things... I struggle with it, so I'm sort of avoiding it. So at least when I'm painting knights... I know, like, I can humor myself. I see tiny details, and I'm like, it's a big model. I gotta paint it. It's gonna look good. I only gotta paint one of these guys. I may as well do everything. But when I see that with 10 Guardians, or 10 Warp Spiders, or 10 Dire Avengers, I'm like... I've seen this detail. I want to paint it. I can't bring myself to ignore it. But I'll have to do it 10 times. Like, fuck, man. I have to remember exactly when Black Friday started because it's been happening for so long now. So when someone said, what do people do after Thanksgiving dinner? The answer came up with, I bet people love to go shopping for Christmas. Right. I guess that is the logical conclusion when you are a business and you're trying to figure out when is the best time to sell things. What type of knight is this? This is an Arcastus Porphyrion. One sec, I'll just finish up with what I've got on my brush at the moment, and I'll show you what it is, because this thing is huge. It's essentially, I believe, it's the largest Imperial model that isn't a knight, as far as I'm aware. It's like one step down from oh, sorry, it's the largest thing that isn't a Titan. It's like one step down from a Warhound Titan. So if I zoom that out, pull this back in focus. Then we've got the body there. So I don't have a oh, actually, I don't have a Space Marine, but I've got a box knot on hand for scale. So yeah, that's the sort of scale we're looking at. It's decent size. Yeah, 700 points of probably not that useful on the tabletop, but I don't care. But yeah, for, like, I imagine because you just got here, just for reference, one of the reasons why it's taking me so long to do this is because The paint color that I've chosen for the trim, unfortunately, I only have it in an airbrush paint, so it doesn't cover that well. So I have to do 2 coats to actually get it to cover solidly. So this is a long process. This is probably the single most time-consuming part of painting this whole thing. I'm just kidding. That's going to end up being whatever stupid freehands I decide to do when we eventually get to putting things on the panels. That's going to be the most time-consuming thing. But until I waste, like, 2 months doing that, I can confidently say that this is the most time-consuming thing and not feel bad. Love having some of the best Warhammer players in the world at your RTTS. You just bring meme lists. God farted in it. Look, if you're not playing meme lists, where's your sense of whimsy? I'm a strong advocate for building silly armies, or just building cool armies. Over here with 8 big Chaos Knights and 25 War Dogs for an upcoming narrative battle in a week. Holy shit. You are way deeper than I am. Yeah, I aspire to one day have that many knights. I'm shivering at the thought of how long it would take for me to even paint that many. Even if I had them, how long would I actually take to even get them to the point where I'm able to play them on tabletop? Because it takes me so long to to paint a single knight. Because I've only got 3 knights that I have that are like finished in a knight errant, an armiger helverin, and an armiger warglaive, and then I've got a Cerastus Acheron, which is sort of like 40% done, and then I got this, and then on the back burner I've got an additional two armigers unbuilt, unpainted, a Cerastus Lancer unbuilt, unpainted. And then all of the Wardog Houndpack Lance that needs to be built and painted. I've got such a big backlog of of knights that I need to work my way through. Just batch paint them all, you'll be fine. No, but that's ignoring the fun. The fun of painting knights is that they're big and they're complicated, and you got to do all the you gotta have fun with them. I'm not gonna batch paint knights. I think I would actually kill myself just thinking about it. Not because I'd be, like, wasting them, but I think it would actually just destroy it would be the most soul-crushing experience ever. Batch painting 10 Space Marines was annoying enough for me. I don't think I could batch paint knights. Jeez. "15 carnivores go brr." Yeah, that's like one thing that I really like the idea of is just doing, well, I like that the Chaos Knights have so much variety in all the different War Dogs they can run. That's like the big distinction that I want to have between my Imperial and Chaos Knight lists, is I really like the big Imperial Knights, but having a massive swarm of Chaos War Dogs is so cool. That is like something I very much aspire to. You have a backlog? I have a backlog, yeah. Okay, Rebellion. I understand you have a backlog. I understand that the scope of your backlog is formidable. It does not make me feel better about my own backlog. It just makes me feel bad for you. Okay, I reckon our panel lining will do in the same brass that we're doing for the trim. And where we've got rivets that are sitting on top of the main panels, we'll have them in brass as well. We'll only have the rivets on the brass. Well, the only rivets that we will do in black will be the ones that are already sitting on brass. Just funny to see a guy run a Warhound Titan and then see him in the top 10 Warhammer players globally. Look, he's got to run his Warhound Titan somewhere. He knows he's not going to be able to run it in the competitive scene, so he may as well bring it out at the game store. Ever seen the videos from the Squidmar channel where they go to people's houses to help them with their backlog? Those people have some serious issues. No, I have not seen those Squidmar videos. That's genuinely a fire idea though. That's such a really cool video idea. You just like put out a casting call. We are looking for people who have fucked backlogs. We will paint your shit. Formidable, he says as you stare at your 6 unfinished armies and multiple titans. I think I would call that formidable. I think formidable is an appropriate adjective. Oh man, I really should have used a smaller brush for this panel lining here. That's exactly what they do. Yeah, it sounds awesome. That's a very cool idea. Bet those people's backlog is 10 times mine in both size and in monetary value. Oh, of course. Like, I understand that, like, my backlog is bad, but I know there are absolutely people who are way deeper. Mine is just bad because of the ratio of painted to unpainted. Cough, you're not deep at all. Look, hey, at least you've got a lot... Okay, I don't know how much you've got unbuilt, but at least you've got a lot of them built so you can play with them. I've got a lot of my backlog is still, like, in the box because I'm just, like... I take so long to do everything. So even assembly for me is a chore. Half the fun is buying the models. It's easier to buy more models than it is to build and paint them. All knights painted. Yeah, no, that is very impressive. I just need to clean this up a little bit. I'm just about happy with what we've got done here. There we are. That's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It's not parade standard, sure, but it's like, it's good. Yeah, no, like, I would not expect you to have that many knights painted to parade standard unless you were like 60 years old, retired, and have been retired for like 15 years, and it's just like, this is your jam. Like, the time investment to paint multiple knights to parade standard is just, it is immense. Just need your retirement plan to come through tonight so you can have a wonderful Thanksgiving and start being a true nerd again. Yeah. I feel like your retirement plan, it seems to keep getting postponed. I hope it comes through someday. Weird how it sort of keeps skipping back. They really need to hurry up with that one. Right now it's $681 million. You could buy a lot of models with that. That would be a significant investment. Surely you'd be able to get a decent stake in GW. And then you could become part of the problem. You could just profit off of GW's like price hiking. You willing to bet they have rules against foreigners owning companies? Nah, surely not. Because they're in the UK, they're not in they're in the UK, they're not in the EU. So I imagine that when the UK Brexited, they probably had to, like, if they did have those laws, they probably would have had to do a lot of amendments to them because there might have been a lot of EU owners who would be not too happy about any changes that would happen with that. You have to deal with your sister-in-law tomorrow, pray for you. My condolences. Bye, chicken. That's number 2. So it seems like it's about 1 chicken an hour from the looks of it. Doubt they have rules for owning a few shares, but probably have rules against foreigners buying controlling interest. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. Okay. So now we can go around and do the second coat of the front face of the trim. And then we should be able to go onto the toes. And I normally paint all of the panels in subassembly, but honestly, I reckon once I've got the once I've got all of the trim painted on the toes, I might just start gluing the shin pads on, because that way I'll be able to sort of, like, it's still, the leg on its own is still wieldy enough that I can sort of maneuver it and be able to reach everything. And then that way I don't need to worry, like, I'll be able to see what bits of the inside of the leg are visible and need painting, without having to worry too much about wasting effort on painting things that are going to be invisible anyway. You like the job I did on my base coat? Meant to say that the other day. Yeah, thank you. I was surprised by the like how few colors I had to use to actually get it, because it's basically just a lead belcher base coat, and then I used Croxagore Scales contrast, just airbrushing it on. I think I showed it off on the like on stream, but the paint itself does not look like the color that we got, because this is the color. But it's just got some green shades in there. So when you apply it really thinly, it's green, and then the actually, I think it was, sorry, when you apply it really thinly, it's blue, and then the thicker you go, the more greens come through. So it was actually yeah, surprising that we got as good a result as we did. How are we going for time? 2 hours. I reckon we'll actually be able to... I don't know if we'll be able to do all of the trim, but I think we'll be able to go really, really far with it today, because last stream I think we went for 5 hours, and in that time we painted quite a lot compared to what we've managed to do today. I feel like if we manage to make a similar pace to what we did last stream, we should get pretty close to having done all of the trim for this guy. Hello, hello. Hey, Twisted. It's a beautiful color you have there. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, how have you been, mate? too bad. Been painting and felting. Had a fun tournament last weekend. Nice. Yeah, I've sort of been trying to get back into the swing of YouTube again. Haven't sort of allocated the time to do any recording or anything, but I'm hoping to get back to that as well at some point. Been trying to think of something to buy tomorrow night when you and your friend visit the local store for midnight Black Friday sale. Midnight shopping is a very strange concept for me. I feel like it's very rare to find places that are open at midnight in Australia. Like, the closest you'll get is Thursday night, late night shopping. Some places will be open until like 8 or 9 PM. But a lot of places don't do that anymore anyway. Okay. Out here. There we are. What faction are you painting it as? This is Sons of Horus / Lunar Wolves for the secondary color part is what we're going for, Jesus. Was a blast, didn't play, but had fun hanging out with friends and enter a mini into the painting competition. Took home a bronze axe for your Paragon's Pirouette. Yeah, I saw you post the photos of that. That's really cool. Yeah, and I would have been surprised if you didn't win anything for your work on that one on her. It was such a cool model, like genuinely. Like, the fact that you took home bronze for that as well means that the competition must have been very fierce there. Would have been very cool to see all the cool stuff that everyone had been working on. There's some beautiful models, very talented painters there. Yeah, that's like one thing. Every time I see painted models in real life, like every time I see someone else's painted models, it's just like I have to go up to it and just like squat down and have a look at it up close and just see all the cool stuff they've done. It's so fun seeing what everyone else does. It's like you can just see like how they do different things, like how they paint scratches and all that sort of thing. It's like all those tiny little differences on how different people approach similar things. It's really fun. really love it too. Love to see all the details people add and develop. Can't wait for next year. Yeah, I really like the idea of going and like getting involved in community things like that. I'm not really like aware of anything of that sort of scale that happens in my area. And I'm not like proactive enough to really go out and seek out those things, but it'd be cool to see one of those, like, even if I'm not competing, it'd just be cool to sort of walk around and see all the cool stuff that people have worked on. That was like, I feel like I mentioned this quite a lot, but when I was in Japan, it was like the Warhammer store that I always went to was so cool. It was, because it was just massive, and they had so many different displays and stuff, and every time I went in there, I'd just go over to the displays, just pick a new cabinet, and just sort of squat down and just like look at them up close, see how they did their bases, see how they did their armor damage and all that sort of stuff. It was just, yeah, it was so fun. Wish the new Terminator models were out already. They look great. I haven't paid much close attention to them. I think I've seen like the photos of like the promotional images of them. I don't really know what the old Terminators look like for comparison though. I kind of just assumed that these were new variants of the same Terminator model, just with different loadouts. Oh, I'm making an absolute mess of this. Managed to miss the rivet in 2 different spots. Should be able to fix it now though. Like that. Clean it up. Flatten the end of the brush and then scoop it again. Yep, there we are. That's better. And just the bits where there's little bits of metallic flakes spreading out. Just need to make sure I pick them up. And that should be good. I'm not going to full commit to painting these rivets just yet. I just want to mark them so that I know what I'm doing. Because whenever I get around to painting these panels, I'm probably going to need to touch up the rivets at the end anyway. Because I'm fairly certain that whatever I end up freehanding on these panels is going to end up interfering. I'm going to end up getting a little bit of paint on these rivets. Okay, that's looking pretty good. I think now it's just going to be the touch-ups on the edges, and then we can go down to the toes. And then we will be able to confidently say that we've done one leg, so we can actually glue those panels on. But yeah, let's just get this trim nice and solidified first. Okay, I think just about happy. I don't need to be too concerned about getting it fully solid on some of these faces because they're not going to be super visible. I just don't want it to be clearly patchy from certain angles if someone sort of gets down and has a look from behind and sees a bit that's just like really patchy and not covered at all. We don't want that. There we are. And then just a couple more stretches along this section here. And then there. And that's pretty good. So now it's just going to be painting the toes and then gluing the panels on that leg. And then all of the other details will approach once we've finished with the trim. But 1 second, I'm just going to quickly go to the bathroom while I let that dry, so that I don't accidentally smudge all of the shit that I've been working on while I'm working on the toes there. So I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Okay. Should be dry enough that I don't need to worry about smearing it too badly. Although thankfully I don't actually need to grab onto the top half of this section to actually reach the toes anyway. We should be able to just toil away at this without much fear. Yeah, on one hand, I'm thinking the toes might actually be surprisingly quick to paint. But on the other, I'm wary because I feel like this is one of those ones where it's going to be a trap where I feel like it's going to be nice and quick, but it's actually a surprising amount of surface area because they wrap around each toe. So it'll actually end up taking a lot longer than I expect it will. You're working a bit on a Ultramarine Primaris company champion catching a lightning bolt in his sword, posted on the Discord. Oh, I'll have a quick look. I haven't had a proper look at the stuff you guys have been working on in a little bit. Oh, okay. Yeah, that is very cool. I'm assuming that's some kind of very fine metal wire you've used for it. Those are the sorts of bases and effects which I really want to try at some point, but I never know which models I'd want to use it on. You think you pulled a wire from an old Ethernet cable? Okay. I assumed it was this. I thought you were gonna say something like, "Yeah, it's this ultra fine stainless steel hobby wire that I bought or something." But no, I think I pulled it from an old cable. It's awesome. We love that. Hobby gremlin is a term for a reason, I guess. Well, I mean, at its core, it it's a hobby. So you just do it with the shit that you already have, or you do it with the shit like it's all about the things that you enjoy doing. And if you have the mind to strip a wire and pull the bits out of it, you're probably going to use it. Like if there's something that just sort of crosses your mind, you're like, yeah, I don't really need this old cable. It's I guess I'll just pull it apart, keep some of the bits, use it somewhere. You see, comparison is the source for inspiration oftentimes. So what Juan does and was so amazed by it, had to learn how he does it. Yeah, that's the way I see it as well. Like, I accept that there are, like, I accept that my painting is not amazing. I understand that, like, what I do is that it's pretty, I take an incredibly long time to do something which a lot of other people could do in a quarter the amount of time, and probably better. But I don't really care. For me, it's like, I see the cool shit that other people do, and I'm like, whoa, that is awesome. I wonder if I could try something like that. And even if it doesn't work out the same, it's like, well, now I can do, I now know that I can do something similar, or I now know a different way in which I can try to do things that's fun. It's all work based off Juan, or it's based off Juan's work, and it's super good. If you're able to do remotely close to what he does in the next year, you'll be pretty happy. Yeah, no, like, Juan's work is crazy. Like, actually insane. It's very cool to see his posts. Hey. And now it'll just be the strip around the back of it there. And then we'll move on to the next toe while the first coat here dries. Yeah, I think the toes are definitely coming along a little bit quicker than the armor panels, at least. Because there aren't really any round surfaces, it's all just a lot of flat panels. So it's a bit easier to work neatly with. And then once we start doing our second coats, we'll also come through and start doing the rivets as well. Because there are some rivets that are sitting up here, which we'll want to do in our same brass color. And then I just need to remember that at the end, when I'm coming back through, after I've done all of the trim, I'll need to revisit all of the trim for the rivets that are sitting on the trim, because I want to do them all in black to help break it all up. Because with the solid brass trim and then the brass rivets as well, it sort of, the whole model ends up looking very, very bright. And I think just by having the little nodes of black spread across it, it'll sort of help offset the the color scheme a little bit. Just help pare it back a tiny bit. Yeah, I'm very excited to get this leg done because I'm sort of ignoring the other leg for the time being because at least when I get this bit like actually fully trimmed and I'm able to put the leg and 4 of the panels together like all around there, I feel like it will make me feel like I've done a lot more than I have. Because I'll have a mostly finished, or at least mostly base-coated segment that I can look at in its entirety that's all put together. And I'll be able to visualize how close I am. Oh, and then like visualize what it's all going to look like as it comes together as well. Okay, so now we'll just do the back half of this panel. Guess I may as well do the back section of each of these panels because it's not like I'm going to accidentally smear them anyway. There we are. Okay. Now we can go back to doing the front parts of the trim. And I don't believe, I don't have any plans to paint any free hands on the toes, but we never know. We might get to a point where we're like, look, let's absolutely coat this thing in heraldry. But I wouldn't expect an Imperial Knight to have heraldry on its toes, you know? Like, I feel like... What banners would you put on your toes? Like, that's not really respecting the insignias that you put there. Freehand a Sister of Battle pin up on it. Unironically, could be like a thing because these are free blades who've turned away from their trader houses. So this like doesn't have any obligation to a house to maintain like a sense of decorum. He might just like it. Slashes for the amount of people the knight stepped on. True, actually. A tally for each toe could be quite funny. Okay, so that's first coat for 3 of the toes done. And another thing, of course, will be the side of these. Because each of these will need to have the side of the trim painted because it's very noticeable on the toes. If you play Per Aspera. I'm not familiar with Per Aspera. What is it? City builder? Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't think I've ever... I'm trying to think if I've ever actually played any city builders. I don't think so. No, I haven't. Colony Sim Mars base. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, I've never been super big into a lot of single player games. So like city builders and those sorts of things have never really been like the forefront of things that I have wanted to play. It's sad because it's like I really like strategy games and that sort of thing. Like having grown up playing RTSs, but for me it's just like gaming is very much a social thing, so I can't really bring myself to play a lot of single player games anymore. Hoping someone might have answers for you because the people from the company don't answer emails, I see. And there's no like online communities that have answered the questions you have yet. Look who's Mr. Popular and has friends to play things with. Rue and Real. I am incredibly popular, I'll have you know. I'm something of a people person. One might say I'm a socialite. My bustling social life leaves little time for much else. I love going to clubs and drinking alcohol and partying. I'm a great dancer and I game all night. They're obscure Goat 33. Aren't people like really annoyed that it's getting nominated for like 90% of the game awards? It's like people when a good game gets nominated for the game awards. It's like, what is going on? Elden Ring gets nominated for literally everything. No one bats an eye. Claire Obscure gets nominated for a lot of things. Everyone loses their minds. Or Claire Obscure gets called an indie game. Everyone loses their minds. Nominations, most nominated game in history. People getting upset that it's being nominated as an indie game is quite crazy, given it was made by 33 people. Meanwhile, people will like fight tooth and nail to declare that Baldur's Gate 3 is an indie game because Larian doesn't have a publisher, even though Larian has so fucking many people working there. But it is an indie game. I know, but people don't like it because it has a publisher, and I think the devs are ex-Ubisoft, so they're like, no, it's not indie. You can't be indie if you have a publisher. Even though Animal Well had a publisher, like, a publisher doesn't mean shit. Animal Well had a publisher. That publisher was Video Game Donkey. It's 32 people and one dog. Oh, okay, I wasn't aware that the 33rd was a dog. That's awesome. That makes it even better. I think I also saw people were getting really upset that the voice actor for Gustav got nominated for a for one of the awards. and the voice actor for they were really angry because the voice actor for Gustav had like publicly said once that he hadn't played the game, and they're like, oh my god, this guy's not even, he doesn't even play the game. How like this guy's he's so fucking like he doesn't deserve it. He's a Hollywood actor. He doesn't even care about the game. It's like, dude, he's a Hollywood actor. His job is to act. He's not like, he doesn't have time to play every game that he voices for and watch every film or whatever that he's been in and all that shit. Like, and he just seems like a genuinely chill guy, like just a nice guy. He did his lines in one day. Yeah, I saw that as well. Yeah, it's like, this guy has, like, he had things to do, places to be. He was like, yo, he was like, okay, I'm showing up for work. I've got this job. Okay, we'll do this job today. And he was just like pleasantly surprised to see that the game was doing really, really well, and he had a lot of respect for the team. And he's like, yeah, that's awesome. I didn't end up playing the game, but I really respect all the work that went into it. And wish the team all the best. That was basically his statement. And then everyone was like, I hate this man. He didn't play the game. It's like, he's an actor. He doesn't need to play it. And once I get the coats done for these toes, I'm gonna need to check the check to see which leg panels go on which sides, because there's 3 different shapes of panel. There's like a tall one with a there's like a tall one with a like a knee cover on the front, so that one's gonna go here. But then there's a regular tall one and a short one as well, and I'd need to figure out which ones go where, so that I don't accidentally glue them on the wrong spots, because that would be quite embarrassing. Not really embarrassing, it'd just be upsetting if I fucked it up. After all the work that goes into this, if I just put it together wrong. This is the world Ultramarine players want? What do you mean? You're not saying that because another Ultramarine model's been announced, are you? That was my first response, shows how awful GW is. It's a genuine concern I have. Like, they just shadow drop Ultramarines every week. No one in a group chat you're in just said they're gonna be the next Fritz Harbor. Who is / was Fritz Harbor? I'm assuming he was a Nazi. And if he was a Nazi, why did your person what happened to this person in your group chat? Who hurt them? Don't worry, right now it's just Warhammer Quest. Okay. Good to see me stream. We'll love how that's looking. Off to get ready for bed. Thanksgiving tomorrow. Stay healthy. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Twisted. Yeah, thanks for the kind words. And yeah, have a good night, mate. Enjoy your tomorrow. He's the man who made mustard gas. I see. I see. But yeah, I'll catch you later, Twisted. Have a good night, mate. It's possible he was a Nazi before he died. Yeah, but at the time of his claim to fame, he wouldn't have been a Nazi yet, at least. Why does he want to be Fritz? You have no idea. Introduce him as the dumbest person you know for a reason. Right? Okay. You see, usually when someone makes a bold declaration like that, usually someone has hurt them. Something has happened and they're like, alright, that's it. I'm really gonna do it. No, he's just stupid. Fair enough. I think we all have that friend. I think I might be that one friend. I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. Like, more likely than not, I feel like you're always more likely to be that one friend than you are to have that one friend, right? I don't know what the odds are, but I feel like it's just like the law of the universe. Anytime someone's like, yeah, we've all got that one friend, that person is that one friend. In my case, I am that one friend for most situations. I've just accepted my lot in life. Maybe it's just me. This is chicken number 3 coming at 3 hours on the dot. I think it is 1 chicken an hour. Rest in peace. Okay, so now we're going to do the, there's a lot of rivets. 8 rivets per toe. No, 12 rivets per toe for a 16 rivets, no, for a 16 rivets per toe, yeah, Jesus. Okay. Let's see if we can do these rivets without making an absolute mess of the panels. Which is easier said than done because I have absolutely atrocious dexterity. And I'm working with relatively thin paint because it's air paint. Don't need to go too overboard with them because we may end up needing to touch up on them. It's taking a long time to paint. Think about how much time it took to design. Those rivets don't just place themselves. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Gavin. I'm paying my respects to the modelers. I am here, I'm acknowledging their work, and I'm saying, hey, I see you. I got you. Love the modelers, screw the sprue designers. Okay, but also, think about it this way, Technic. We are allowed to love the modelers and hate the sprue designers, and the sprue designers are allowed to hate the modelers. Because remember, at the end of the day, the sprue designers have to they have to deal with whatever diabolical shit the modelers come up with. Oh, you wish Destiny didn't suck now. Nothing hits like a D2 hand cannon. Yeah. It was a long run. It was like a long and slow descent into peril. you assumed they were one and the same. Actually, that's probably true. They probably are one and the same. Like, the people who make the original 3D models are probably the same people who then split them and put them on sprues. So we can just hate the modelers. Okay, almost all the rivets. Getting there. What's your favorite dog breed? Staffies. I have, yeah, I've had 2 dogs in my lifetime. I'm on my 2nd dog right now. Both of them have been English Staffies. Love them. They are very cute. Yeah, I am a medium dog enthusiast. Like, small dogs are not real dogs. Big dogs are absolutely real dogs, but they also seem like a nightmare to actually keep. Like, they would eat a lot of food, and then they'd just like, a lot of them are long hair. Just seem like they'd be a pain to own. Medium dogs are, they're just right. They're real dogs, because they're not like a fluffy toy. And they don't eat a huge amount of food, and there's a lot of medium dogs that aren't long hair breeds. I feel like if you had a husky, it would be a householder belligerent yelling. Yeah, huskies are very cool. But I feel like anytime I see someone in Australia who owns a husky, it's so bad. Like, there are a lot of people in Brisbane as well. Like, Queensland is absolutely not husky weather. People who own huskies in hot environments are actually fucked. Genuinely, it's so bad. Like, the dog needs to essentially just be inside in air conditioning 24/7, because otherwise it is just cooking. Let's take these animals bred for the northernmost parts of the world, and take them to southern Australia. Well, like, there are places in Australia where you can probably get away with having a husky. Like, if you live in like cold parts of Tasmania, it might be okay. But the issue is, even then, like, even the cold regions in Tasmania still get quite hot in summer. It's more just like people who own huskies in like the northern states, like Queensland, where I am, where like winter temperatures are not cold. Like, the coldest night in winter in Queensland will be like 2 or 3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that converts to in freedom numbers, but it's like, it's not cold. Like, freezing is 0. So like, you don't even hit freezing in like the coldest winter nights in Queensland. Just recently found out Australia has rainforests. Yeah, I mean, they're shrinking like all rainforests are, but we've got them. Like, the Daintree is the biggest one, because we've got Queensland, my home state, has it's subtropical, and so when you go to northern Queensland, there's some tropical rainforests up there. Washington's rainforest is vibing. That's due to it being impossibly hard to get to. I see, I see. Yeah, a lot of the issues with, well, I think, like, one of the big issues with, rainforests is just because they are incredibly susceptible to climate change. 2 degrees Celsius is equivalent to freezing in Fahrenheit. Well, I imagine it's probably just because of the way Fahrenheit is. There's a bit of a buffer zone, because 0 Celsius should be whatever Fahrenheit's freezing is will be equivalent to 0 degrees Celsius. But yeah, like rainforests are just very susceptible to climate change, because a lot of the, like, it's just like rising or increased carbon in the atmosphere on paper is good for rainforests. You get more, like, that helps rainforest growth, but the issue is a lot of the ecosystems are also very, just very susceptible to all kinds of, like, changes in pollution and that sort of thing, and so when you get rising sea levels, you get a lot of shit picked up in the water table gets contaminated, and then rainforests have a lot of amphibians and shit, and amphibians, unfortunately, are just dog shit at everything they do. And so they just go extinct over the slightest change in environment. And then the second you start losing the frogs, bugs start getting out of control, and then all sorts of other shit happens. It's bad. Amphibians are dog shit at everything they do is the best line you've heard in weeks. It's true though. Like, they will go extinct over a subtle breeze. It's just because they are so hyper dependent on clean water tables. And so anything bad happens to the water and they are the first to go. Like, frogs are the canary in the coal mine for tropical tropical ecosystems. When something goes bad, the frogs are the first ones to know. Can you imagine how many insects there would be if there were no frogs or bats? Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But then on the flip side, there's also the other thing of, can you imagine how many, like, well, there's been, over the past 100 years, enormous extinction events for insects due to the massive increase of cars, just because of how many, like, it sounds like a stupid, it sounds like a stupid thing to say, like, that's just a dumb fact that can't be real, but the amount of bugs that have just died en masse over the past 100 years, just from the increase in cars driving down freeways and shit, just cleaning up hundreds to thousands of them, like, probably like dozens of them per car at least each day. It's fucked. Like, so many bugs have just been completely wiped out, and then there's the knock-on effects of way less bugs, now there are way less, like, the things that normally eat those bugs are now struggling. It's crazy. Axolotl sitting there like the water has changed 0.001 degrees, time to perish. Well, axolotls are amphibians as well, aren't they? Like, they've got the same shit. They've got the same issue. Hey, that's all the toes and rivets for the toes done. So now let's figure out which armor panel goes where. I'm just gonna pull up a separate page and just see if I can get an image of someone else having built it. Arcastus Porphyrion. Okay. They're semi-amphibious, which is a weird way to say that if they need to, they can rapidly evolve into salamanders. Ah, interesting. Yeah, axolotls are wild. Okay, it looks like it's... So it looks like it is big one on the front. And then it is tall one on the outside. And then it is... So I believe from the looks of it, it's going to be like that. So we're going to have these like that. That's what I'm seeing. Just double check with a couple of other reference images, make sure everyone's done them the same. I see one from behind. Yeah, it looks like they all do them like that. Although no one takes any photos of the back of them, so I can't say for certain. Oh. That person's built it wrong, so I can't base it off that. Oh, I should have just opened the Warhammer website. They have photos from all angles. That would have been smart. Okay, yeah. So this is the correct layout. Cool, I'm gonna grab my glue and we'll put this together. One sec. Okay. You're mildly tempted to do lizard towel. Oh, yo, the lizard man towel idea is so cool. That is awesome. Because I love the fucking, the lizard man models are sick as hell. Like, oh, yeah, it is a very cool concept. Okay. So, this one here. Okay, so thankfully there are inserts there, so I don't need to like just, it's not going to be a matter of just like sticking it there and hoping. There should be a section that it actually fits into. But it's slightly out of shape, so I might need to trim it down a little bit. So I'll just need to take a tiny bit off. That should be enough. So now this should fit in. Yep, like a glove. Okay. So just get a little bit of our super glue in there. That should be more than enough. Don't need to go too overboard. Oh, this is going to be so cool. Man, this is going to be so cool. Okay, so now the big one on the side, does it fit? I should put the lid back on my glue because this is a rare instance where this particular super glue isn't shit. Because I feel like I really like the Gorilla Glue gel super glue, but for some reason, I feel like 60% of the bottles they make, the glue is so unbelievably thick that you can't actually squeeze it out of the bottle. But this is a rare one where it actually works properly. Okay, so for this one here, I'll need to trim a little bit off. You want to trim off the bottom or the top? I think we'll trim off the top again. Just like that. Now does this fit? Not quite. So I'll need to trim a little bit off this bottom one as well. There we are, that fits now. imagine what it would look like constructing one of these in real life? It would be fucking awesome, is what it would look like. It would be so cool. Like, already, look at how sick this is, the way it's like encasing the leg. I really like how close these panels meet together. This is gonna be fucking awesome when it's done. I am so keen. Okay, this one seems to fit well enough already. Don't need to trim anything down there. And then I may as well check the last one as well before I start trying to glue anything on. How does this one fit? Not quite. The bits that are struggling are the bottom one and the top one. I think the middle one is fine. So, yeah, so we'll take a little bit off the top. Just like that, and then a little bit off. Actually, let's just see if this fits now. Not quite. A little bit off the bottom, and then we should be good. How tall are one of these things supposed to be in real life? I'm not sure off the top of my head. But let's do some referencing. We've got a Zangor here. The height of a space shuttle on its platform. Well, so we've got a Zangor. Zangors are a bit taller than a human. Like, this guy's probably about 2 meters tall, let's say. Let's say he's 2 meters tall. What's that in freedom units? That's like almost 7 foot. And so if I've got... This guy's almost 7 foot. That's how tall this is going to be. What's a freedom unit? That's a foot is a freedom unit. Because this guy is basically 2 meters. So this is probably about... What's that? 2, 4, 6, 8. It's probably about 15 to 18 meters tall. So he's pretty tall. Is that a dig on Americans? What? What? No? I'm just... I just... I'm just talking... I'm just referencing your units of measurement. So this one here, going there, that fits. Does it fit? Not quite. The middle one I think also doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm gonna need to trim down the middle one. In particular, it will be the... Oh, actually, oh, no, yep, the middle one doesn't quite fit. Maybe the bottom section here. Trim that. Now this should fit, right? Yikes! Okay, we're safe. Why is this still not fitting in nicely? I don't quite understand. It should just sit, but it doesn't. Maybe I try the other one. The other one might sit a little better. It's because it's not the cleanest print. That one sits a lot better. And then does this sit well on the back? That sits well on the back. Okay, so we'll just do it like that. So this one will be the inside edge. Okay, is that sitting properly? I think we've got it in there. Or not quite. I am making a right mess. I think it's good enough. I think it's good enough. As long as it holds. Yeah, as long as it holds, I'm happy. No, never mind. I'm not happy. Need to trim just a tiny bit off the top of this. That's what was inhibiting it. I could see it. This was the bit that was sticking out. So now we should just be able to sit this in there. Yeah, that's much better. Although I will need to reapply some glue because I lost most of the glue that I was using. There we are. There we are. And that should... sit there just like that. And now we can do our last one. Oop, nearly lost it onto the floor. Okay. It's harder to tell if I'm getting it to sit right because I can't fully see in there, but I think that one's actually gone in quite easily. I guess now last little bit is I'm realizing that this is not quite on the angle that I want it to be. Well, it's pretty fine. Yeah, it's pretty fine. Oh, that is really cool. Yeah, having it having that one leg armored up is so cool now. It looks so much better than the yeah, I'm glad I focused on getting one leg done rather than just sort of batch doing all the parts for the other leg, because now I can look at the side by side and say, yeah, that's awesome. Very happy with that. And now when we get around to, like, after we get past all the trim, we can very clearly see which sections of the leg actually need painting. So I don't need to worry about, like, these sections in here that much, because they're pretty well hidden. And so just having those little bits of silver peeking through will be fine. It'll mainly just be resetting the knee back to silver and getting the details on the knee, and then down the bottom here, some of these ankle bits that are peeking through maybe, but don't need to worry too much. And then I guess one thing as well is once I get the other leg painted and sorted, I'm gonna want to. I think I'm gonna glue the. I'm gonna put the waist and everything together with that, so that it's all sort of one thing. Just so that I don't need to worry about sort of blue tacking it all together when I'm like when I'm gonna go and play with it on tabletop while it's half finished. And also because I don't think it's going to be too much of a pain to try to do parts of this. Like these interior sections, they're still exposed enough that I should be able to freehand them without needing to worry too much about precision. One thing I might actually do is see if I can, so I can sit that in there. I'm not going to glue the torso to this side yet, because, or glue the waist to this side yet, because it's not quite the, well, because I haven't painted it yet, and it's going to be awkward to paint with everything together. But I'm going to sit this in here so that I can figure out how he's going to stand. And then using that, I'm going to glue this side onto there. And then once that dries, I'll be able to take it apart again. But essentially, I need to make sure he stands flat. And we probably want to have him sort of legs squared out a little bit. This is an awkward one because he's got a piston here on the underside, which I need to figure out where I'm guiding that to. That piston needs to go into here. So what I might actually do is pull that apart. The current threat to your friends is if they piss you off, you're going to sneak 3D models into their house that their family members would not approve of. I see. Why are you having to threaten your friends with that? What have they done to earn your ire? I just need to make sure this sits properly, because there was a bit of shit there that was sort of stopping it from sitting easy. See if we can just scrape this clean. But yeah, I reckon once we get this little bit sitting nice and pretty, that'll be a pretty good milestone to stop off at, I reckon. But it'll just be a matter of actually just getting there first. Yeah, I think I should have shaved down enough of that. But this'll sit in there. Yep, that sits in there nice and easy. So essentially, when I put this together, I need to make sure this is pointing towards that. That's going to be awkward, I think. Do you have models of bondage fairies? $3 of Colts 3D becomes a treasure trove. I can affirm. Colts has a lot of things on it. I think I'm gonna need to snap this free and then just completely reposition that. That'll probably make my life a lot easier anyway. So we'll just need to scrape off the old glue that was there. And now I should be able to just stance him up however I want. Just need to clean up this section here. Yeah, that should be enough to allow free movement. Okay. Bit of a delay there, but if I now set this back up so that it fits into That's set up there. I should now be able to position the leg however I like. So you want to set it such that he's standing flat. Like that. And then just need to make sure this piston can still reach from point to point. Sorry, you won't be able to see a whole lot while I'm doing this because it's all happening on the underside. Yeah, that should work. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that should be more than enough glue there. Hopefully I didn't go overboard. If I put too much on there, then if it spills out, we'll start getting that sort of white oxidizing staining happening. I think we've done pretty well. And I'm just trying to see where I can actually put these bits in. If I get a blob there, that should be enough. And then I get a blob here. Hopefully I should be able to get away with this now. This is probably one of the less engaging parts. I don't even see where it's meant to go. I saw it a second ago. Ah, there it is. There we are. Oh, fuck. Okay, that should be there now. So I think if I just hold this here, it should grab. Hopefully. Unless I missed, which will be annoying. Take my fingers away now. Looks good. Okay. Ugh. I'm probably going to call the stream here for the day. Yeah, a little bit shorter than last time, but I feel like I've made significant progress with things that I'm happy with. Very happy that we got that leg sorted out. I'll see if I can, hang on, pull the camera out and down, just so that we can see if I can sort of get a better angle of it. I don't know how close I can get before I run out of camera arm range. No, can't get any first. Or any further. But I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it's come out. And then we've got all the arm panels and stuff there as well. Overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Where's my... There. Yeah, anyway, I am probably gonna call it here for the day. Thanks for hanging around, guys. And I don't know what day it is. It's Thursday. So yeah, I might be able to get another one in tomorrow. We'll see how we go. But yeah, anyway, I will catch you all later for now. Yeah, have a good one. And for you guys over in the US, enjoy your Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.